Okay, as that it is 7 o'clock, I'll call this meeting to order. We'll stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. So just a reminder, any public comments, they would need to sign in on the form on the podium up here. And we will move on to our first item of business, which is the minutes from last month and the May claim docket. Has everybody had a chance to review those?
I have reviewed the April minutes and the May claim dockets, and I make a motion we accept them.
Okay, I got a first motion.
I'll second.
Got a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, those pass. All right, first item on old business, town cleanup day.
Well,
John.
Okay. I'll give you the bad news and then the good news. Last year, it was raised trash, which is no longer, it's waste management now. Everything's went up. To get the same stuff we had last year, we're talking close to $2,800 to $3,000 for the dumpsters. So I went to that place east of Cartersburg Road, and they got Talking Trash is their business. They're around $1,640, and they would keep the metal out of the metal dumpster. So I made a call to Randy Denny just a while ago and told him that we'd probably not need his excavator this year. And he says, well, how about I just donate the dumpsters, so you can get the dumpsters free and his equipment. So that's your good news. He's gonna take care of all that. So we're planning on June 10th, which would be the second weekend or second Saturday in June, from 9 till 3.
Very good. Town cleanup day, June 10th, 9 to 3. Thank you, Randy Denny.
Yeah,
Any changes in what we're accepting? It'll stay the same?
the same thing, and I'll probably ask people again to show a sewer bill or something to show that they are residents of Clayton
Okay.
of some sort. If you don't know them, there's a lot of people I don't know in town, so. And I was gonna say, of course, we'll have a metal dumpster, but I was gonna make, since he's donating all this, what do you think? Just let him have whatever he gets out of the metal dumpster go to him, since we won't have to pay for anything.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 to 3, did you say?
Yeah,
Okay, next item, survey on 12 East Michigan Street. Pete.
First and last page tells us the cost.
this is the empty lot across the street, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we originally started out, we got a estimate from Bannon Engineering for the whole project, engineering, survey, the whole 9 yards. And then Planning Commission recommended getting competitive bids, but Cruise Consulting only bid on doing a survey. They didn't go beyond that.
So far, they have not been beyond that, but they were supposed to. I just haven't got that from them yet.
So the lump sum fee is the total for just the survey portion of what they would
Yes.
do? Okay.
This is all Cruise, all 3 pages?
No,
The last page,
Who is the last page?
Dan.
that's Banning Engineering.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that kind of strikes me is Cruz gave a kind of a big margin, not an exact number, whereas Banning gave an exact number. Did they have any explanation on why they
Well,
couldn't?
It started out 4 to 5, and they said if they could find a pin, they can go off of, it would reduce the cost, and that's how they come up with this, but they didn't give an explanation why there's,
A range of
Yes.
a bid instead of an exact number. Okay.
And on Banning's being that 4,200, which is, if they were gonna stick to the, Cruz was gonna stick to this, which is a little bit more, but I believe, you, correct me if I'm wrong, but up to $25,000, we can take whoever we want to do
Well, this
something
is
as
just
far
a
as,
contract for services, right?
Yeah.
It's just a survey work. So
Yeah.
you've got discretion there.
yeah.
Any discussion or recommendations from the town council? Or any questions?
Well, we're not talking about the same thing, right? I mean, what'd you
No.
say, Pete, that they,
Banning is gonna do the whole ball of wax, the designing and all that. They just give us, so far, a cost on what it costs to survey the lot across the street
okay,
from Cruz.
so Cruise is just survey,
Yes.
Banning is the whole thing.
Well, what you have right there is the cost of the survey.
Okay,
That's not
Yeah.
including the whole ball of wax, which
Okay.
is 14,500. Which I have copies of that paperwork if you wanna see that.
Yeah.
So is this price from Banning gonna be deducted from the other bid that they have, or is this over and above the other bid?
No, it's included in the 14,500.
Okay.
Well, it seems to be getting busy. I know during the week, it's a couple of days of the week, 'cause that lot's full
Yeah.
already. Just,
Surely there's a pin around there somewhere that you can find, survey.
They did find one. That's why they went from 4 to 5,000 to 2 to 3.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
But like Doug said, it was, zone board that recommended doing this. One of the members on that board.
well, we're gonna have to have it surveyed, I guess, if we're gonna put a parking lot there. We have no,
Right,
It's
before
just
we do
survey.
any projects there,
Yeah.
it's gotta have a survey done.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of
who you want to
who
do
are we
it.
gonna have do that? Knowing we've got, I mean, we already got, pretty substantial amount of work that Banning has done for us over there. They presented us with, drawings of what the parking lot would look like, how many spaces we would have, that kind of stuff. Cruz hasn't presented us with anything like that.
No.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that,
Can I ask something real quick? Has Cruz been asked to give us a thing like that?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Good question.
I just wondered.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, that's a good question. Yep, it was requested that they give us
Okay.
more details and so, continue your motion, John?
well, before I make it, I'm gonna ask Jenny, do we have, we have
No, I
the
was just
sums?
wanted to see where would this come from?
Yeah, that's what,
Okay, I had a question at the end. How much is our grant fund match?
45,000?
That's what I was afraid of.
Hmm.
We're gonna be biting the bullet this year, I'm just telling you.
Well, we got that big old $750, that we're saving on town cleanup now.
Well, there we go. What was I not?
About that metal. We were bringing,
We were bringing that metal back.
bringing that metal back.
is the parking lot something, I said maybe get it surveyed, and the survey would be good for, I don't know how long, but something we could table to next year, maybe, put something in the budget to help offset the price.
That is doable.
I mean, because right now with stone on it and stuff, people are parking on it, don't seem to be no problem.
Right.
Yeah, they seem to be parking on it pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's what my motion's gonna be, to make a recommendation to, for Banning to do the survey, but to table the rest of it until.
All right, so I got a motion to, employ Banning Engineering to do a formal survey of 12 East Michigan and, let the planning commission, know that we will not move forward on any other project with the parking lot until next year, next budget.
Yes, that's my.
All right, so that's the motion.
I'll second the motion.
All right, got a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Pete, you took care of the lumpy concrete at the playground?
Yeah, the last meeting you had,
Yeah.
I went the very next morning, took care of that. Talking about the lumpy concrete.
The lumpy concrete's all gone.
Check today to make sure I didn't miss any.
Okay. Very good.
Let's not use lumpy concrete company anymore.
Right. Yeah, apparently it was just concrete that spilled over
Yeah.
when they were pouring it and they just didn't clean it up.
Right.
So,
Yeah, 'cause I just took a hammer, it was just,
thank you. Appreciate it. All right, now nobody will fall and get a concussion. So,
I'll tell you, and if anybody don't know, all the new equipment we've got down there, the park has been getting used 2 or 3 times more than it did last year. There's people there every day. So I thought it was a good investment.
all right, new business. I got Josh from Banning Engineering here.
Stand up there with you. So from our last meeting, we talked about going further with the C1, D1, the line issue that we have down on Reagan Street. So asking to put together some physical drawings, so we have something to look at to visualize what we're talking about, and then we went ahead and actually did the survey work to find out where our rights are as far as the line itself. I have a large copy here as well.
You wanna give one of those to Graham, please?
I got a few extra copies here, so. So. Working with George on this, came up with kind of a drawing to help you maybe better visualize what's going on there, so you don't have to
Yeah.
watch the video and dig into that. As you can kind of see, the vertical piece of everything is kind of exaggerated to show you. It really doesn't shift up that fast or down that fast, but it does shift by that kind of percentage that we have shown on there. The dash line through the center of the pipe is the generic water level, as determined during those
CCTV runs. Roughly 50 to 70% of the pipe is submerged through those dips and raised sections of pipe where the pipe is collapsed or raised. There's quite a few failed joints, particularly one over by manhole D1. You can watch just water literally just pouring in the pipe through that joint. Tree roots and a couple other ones. Generally, to solve your basic I&I problems, we would recommend lining a pipe, but in this case, there's so many dips in it, it's just would not recommend that method of repair.
And this was clay tile.
Yes.
Remind me exactly where is, I mean, I see the pipe, but where is this?
So it's, on, you know where the old railroad tracks used to be, so the last road there, if you go north on it, and Bill Wood's house, now, it's manhole right there by the garage. And
Okay.
it heads back directly to the east, west actually, east, but the west.
Okay, so this is Cynthia's house.
Yeah, so it goes back toward the
Oh.
downtown. So
Okay.
this is toward the stores over here,
Okay,
so it heads this direction. So it goes through, there's like 3 properties there that it crosses.
okay. So are we just talking about from here to here? We're not
Yeah.
talking
Yep.
about
Yeah.
on over,
No, just this section right in here.
okay. And that's what this is,
Yeah. Yes.
is, okay.
That's the longer
Just
section.
visualizing that line running from this point, the high point, to the lower section.
Okay. Who's,
Yeah.
is this Skirvin's?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, that's
so
right.
it's just behind Skirvin's house
Right.
to,
There's actually 2 manholes.
to Reagan
Yeah.
Street,
The
okay.
actual manholes kind of lands right in his page, right? Well, just to the edge of it.
Okay,
Didn't you say that part of that is under Woods' garage there?
Yeah.
Not under his garage, it's just under, oh, yeah, it goes under that workshop that,
Yeah,
whatever
The
he
very
built
last
there.
section of that.
yeah, the
Right.
north end of it,
Yeah, that,
yeah.
You guys can keep that copy.
Yeah.
That's just a copy of the
beacon overhead picture.
beacon and then the easement documentation. that are further-
so D1 is on Reagan,
Right.
okay.
No.
No.
No, D1,
C1.
C-
D1 is by Skirvin's house.
Yes.
Okay.
C1 is over on Regan.
Correct, yep.
How deep is it, Bob?
I mean, it's at least 10 feet over by Skirvin, so
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have that.
it's much deeper over on Regan.
Oh, it gets deeper?
And then the wood, are we talking about the attached part of the old garage or that little building that's sitting next to the garage? There's a little broke down
Yeah,
building.
there's
May-
like a lean-to or something.
Yeah.
It's still block.
Yeah,
attached to
okay,
it.
well, that's
Yeah.
part of the old,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and I remember years ago, he had a pit in there so you could pull a vehicle in, but they filled it in with concrete, so
Right on top of the sewer.
yeah, probably,
The town has a 10-foot easement through there.
yeah.
Um, So, you do have some property rights, but, in terms of installing a replacement, you would need wider than 10 foot.
For that deep, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys can keep that copy.
Okay.
So talking with George, our recommendation would be to move it up, put a new line in. You're gonna have to get, additional easement anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's the town's decision, but, going underneath that building, I don't know what kind of fights or pushback you're gonna get from
Yeah.
that, so.
And so you said we have a 10-foot
It's only 10
easement
foot.
now, and you
Yeah.
want, or you would recommend,
Additional, if you're gonna go back and do the minimum, 10 foot's probably okay. But during construction, you'd want another probably 20 feet. through there.
another 20
Yeah,
or a
just
total
a-
20?
Another 20, 15 to 20 temporary,
On either
or
side.
just probably, yeah, something like that.
I mean, just for, OSHA safety regulations for keeping that ditch from falling in while you're digging down there, you have to go out a ways and then put those in there. That's why usually something that's 10 foot deep, we have a 25-foot, not a 10-foot.
Yeah, it gets tight in town going that line, so.
All right, so step one is gonna have to be just opening up a dialogue with the property owners on, we need to request permission to get a bigger easement through here.
Yes. Yeah, and just, again, if you wanna try to keep it under that building, that piece has gotta come down. I don't know how close that line is to the other piece that wasn't added on to, if you could even get the line in through there. I don't have survey for it, so I can't be exact on that moment, so,
How many properties owners are we talking about?
3.
just 3.
Any other questions or discussion from town council members?
It's something that needs to be done, right?
Well, it could be part of our reason why we're.
I mean,
got the-
yeah,
Yeah, it's
clearly
a
we're
pretty
getting,
massive. We monitored during the heavy, no rain, there's nothing coming through it, which is normal, it's what you'd want.
Well,
You
where-
get a
where you-
rain and wow, it just,
Yeah.
it just.
Where you're
water-
talking about,
Gravity water just sucks right in there.
where you're talking about Underwood's garage or stuff, that house just north of them there that they built years ago, if there's any rain, that's full of water there
Yeah.
too. It just,
Yeah, it's just a big
goes-
old, it just gravitates down like a boulder.
so there's the possibility instead of replacing the pipe under the garage, you would move over and go to a different way? Is that what we're,
Shift it up, to the north of that.
yeah,
Probably closer to that property line.
yeah.
So you may end up having to deal with a fourth, I'm just not sure,
Yeah.
in terms of distances, like I said.
Yeah.
Without a survey, I can't really
Does
tell
that,
you
would
exactly.
that all still fall under the easement?
If you had to deal with the person to the north, yeah, you need probably some kind of temporary, construction easement. I'll give this you guys as well. Just a larger copy of that.
And they may even help the house on the north, cause I kinda remember Don Moraine putting a drain over there in those people's yard for them to
Yeah.
go to the sewer.
So
Storm
what's
control.
gonna happen if we fix the sewer? And I'm assuming that, John, you're talking about, that water coming down. We fix the sewer where the water is probably going now.
It's where it's going down.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a problem with that runoff just like staying in these people's yards? Are we gonna have some way to run off that surface water?
well, it's not surface water, this is 10 foot deep, it's
Yeah.
10 foot underground.
Yep, I'm talking about, John says when it rains,
Or-
it really floods that, and I'm assuming that flood water is going into the sewer.
It's just,
If we block off that escape, then now we've got that surface water that's not gonna go anywhere.
and I don't know if it's because the yard's low, cause it's usually just a little south of the driveway, a little bit's on the driveway, but most of it's right there in the yard,
Yeah. I talked
towards,
to-
right there on Reagan Street.
Sorry, I talked to the neighbors across the street, I stopped there before I came here,
Yeah.
and they said that used to be a swamp, and there was a
Oh,
spring
yeah.
there and everything.
Well,
so
you could-
The groundwater could be.
You could take a post hole and go dig anywhere here in Clayton, about 3 foot, you're gonna hit water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Skirvin said when he put that fence in, about a foot and a half, and he had water.
Mhm.
Not sure what time of the year, but I can imagine. So, yeah, that could be a secondary part of it, but,
Well, let's take
Yeah.
it one step at a time.
Yeah,
yeah.
So first step is to figure out exactly the easement that we need, open up a dialogue with the property owners through, you know, our town manager and our town attorney, and try to make sure that, you know, we're explaining what the issue is and why we need it, and then try to accomplish that part first.
That makes
That would
sense.
be my- All right, everybody in
So you good with, can you?
consensus with that?
Yeah.
Aspect of it?
Okay,
Communicate.
Yeah, whatever I need to do, if it's fine, just keeping it under the hourly on-call agreement.
I think that's one of them having him do, so.
Yeah.
this is what-
and if, I mean, you kind of mentioned two different potential plans with either replacing the pipe right where it is or moving it to the north a little bit. I would have both of those
Yep.
plans in mind when you're talking about the easements, and if you need to include that fourth property owner, so that we don't have to go back and repeat steps. So let's just make sure that we're addressing the easement issue first. Can we get this done?
I can do that.
All right,
Great, thank you. Thank you.
thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda, I'm gonna skip down to the 2023 fire contract. Chief Russell's here. So, after talking to you on the phone, I found the contract. We signed it in January, and then we didn't get a signature from you guys. So you are correct, that we don't have a.
We can't rely on memory.
Yeah.
All right. So I invited you here to talk about what's happening with the fire department.
Okay, what exactly do you want?
You got to step up here though when you talk. We'll hold him right
Are you serious?
there. Yeah, that's what. You're, I know, we'll help you up, right?
And the reason I reached out to Chief Russell is I went to the public hearing on Monday, and the township trustee brought up some information that was brand new to me. So I just said, hey, we probably need to hear from the expert on it.
Okay, so you're particularly want to know about what the township is doing.
Yes,
Okay.
pretty please.
So, as we tried to explain over the last couple of years, the nonprofit entity, Fire Department of Liberty Township, that's not been the way, that's not how we should be running a fire department, especially, you know, a volunteer fire department that's a nonprofit, is meant to do a few runs a month, not a few runs a day. And we do a few runs a day. So this is 2 decades in the making that it should have been a township department before. I tried with the previous trustee for many years to get him to take it over, and he wouldn't cooperate, as you know. So the new trustee is taking it over. So what we've agreed to do is hand over all of the physical assets to the township, and then he's going to take over, start paying the bills and handle everything. He will be appointing the fire chief and all that. It'll be a township department. We've got equipment that's way out of date and all kinds of things that need to be fixed. So we've started down two major things that have happened recently. One is with this whole ALS thing and the Morgan County EMS thing, we've sped up our, Brad's #1 goal, and my #1 goal has been since I took back over, was getting the ALS back up and running. For those of you that don't know, for over 20 years, we had, this ambulance down here was ALS most of the time. And in 2019, because of funding, the cost of everything went up, our funding didn't go up. They abandoned the ALS program back in 2019. I wasn't a part of that, but anyway, so my goal has been to bring that back. So we're this close, we're about a step away. We have approval from the state. The ambulance has been approved, or been certified. Everything's certified to go back to ALS, except for we need one thing, and that's our narcotic license, because we do carry a couple of narcotics on an ALS ambulance. So we got to get that finished up. So that's the #1 thing. We're hoping to get that up and running July 1st. We ordered all new air packs. For those of you that don't know,
Air packs, SCBA's we wear on our back. Up until recently, those composite bottles have a 15-year life. So once they hit 15 years, they cannot be hydro tested anymore, they can't be used, they're junk, basically. So our packs are, most of our packs are 18 years old. We bought some, Danville replaced their packs a few years ago before they were expired. So what we're using right now is their old bottles, which expire next year. They expire in 2024. The township trustee has ordered all new air packs, new bottles for us. There is a new product out. The bottles, you can buy bottles that last 30 years now, and so that's what we're buying. So those are on order. It's probably gonna take 6 months to get them. So those are the two major things going on, or I don't know how many things I just talked about.
Is Dr. Nossett gonna be your medical director?
Oh, yeah, we're staying affiliated with Hendricks. The other thing we are doing is changing our ambulance billing because the billing service we were using, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just we weren't seeing the revenue. Our revenue had been steadily going down. And that's the other problem going on with this Morgan County EMS thing. It's a problem with ambulance billing as well. So if you want me to go more in detail on that, I can. If not,
Okay, so you said the township trustee is gonna be appointing the chief, and is there gonna be a board anymore, or is that?
it'll be run by the township, so the township
Board
the
runs-
township
okay.
trustee
All right.
will run the fire department. The FDLT nonprofit is gonna stay in existence. So if we do fundraisers or things like that, if we wanna have a, if the guys want new, a new television at the firehouse or something, it'll be, a lot of that stuff will be out of that fund. If they wanna buy stuff for the kitchen, that kind of thing. Right now, we're using, donation money. We keep food on hand for the volunteers, just snacks and stuff like that, drinks, things like that, so they don't have to leave the firehouse, that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that FDLT will be funding. It'll be a members organization, so, and what we're hoping to do is, or at least what I'm hoping we do, is we expand that back out to the alumni, the old former members, if they want to join and be a part of that, so yeah. So the township trustee there'll be a township fire department.
And that
And then
takes
his-
effect,
And I don't mean to speak for him, but I did discuss this with him after you and I talked. And he just wanted you to know that he plans to honor, his plan is to honor any contract or any agreement we made, FDLT has made. He will honor that, and he will be talking to you about next year and a contract for next year. So, I don't, the relationship will stay similar, it's gonna be a municipality as opposed to a nonprofit. And maybe I should I expand on why being a nonprofit is not a good idea for what we're doing, or you want me to?
I mean,
Okay, so one of the main things, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this for quite a while, is when you pay, you may or may not be aware, but there is an FLSA, I always get the letters scrambled, the FLSA rule for firefighters. So most jobs, if you work 40 hours in a week, you're required to be paid overtime, time and a half. In the fire service, if you meet the requirements of the firefighter FLSA rule, I forget, it's 55 or something like that, it's 53 hours a week. So career firefighters get paid regular hourly pay until they reach 53 hours in a week, 106 in 2 weeks, or 212 in a 28-day period. So that's how it works. So because we're a nonprofit, we no longer we didn't qualify for the rule. Let me back up. We thought we qualified for the rule, and so for 10, 12 years, that's the way we paid. In 2010, between 2010 and 2012, there were some federal court rulings that said no. What we were always told was that if most of your funding comes from a government entity, then you qualify for that rule. Those court rulings say no, that's not the case. You have to be, the decision makers for the entity have to be elected officials. So by us being a nonprofit, we have to pay, if somebody works more than 40 hours, we have to pay them overtime. If we're a municipality, we don't have to pay them overtime until they reach 53 hours in a week. So that saves a bunch of money. I know because I ran a career fire department. And I know how that would have affected our budget there. So, we took advantage of that rule, at my former employer. So that's just one of many reasons. The other reason is, and I do not want to speak about the county, but I will say this, that they've made it perfectly clear that if any funding that's coming from the county, whether it's TIF money or whatever it is going to go to a government entity. It's not going to go to us or go to the nonprofit. So that's another reason to get funding to help with all this infrastructure issues. And, you know, we need fire engine. They bought us an ambulance, but they did title it to FDLT, but they said they won't do that again. So the nonprofit technically has a title for that ambulance, but we're turning that over to the trustee. So there's a lot of factors and moving parts. When you're a nonprofit, there's lots of things you can't do, and so that's what goes back to my previous statement, which is, you know, there's a lot of little nonprofit, little tiny volunteer fire departments around, and that's fine when you make a few runs a month, but when you're making the kind of runs and doing what we're doing, it doesn't work. And it hasn't worked for a while, and that's been part of our problem.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Chief Russell?
John and I also were at that meeting, and it sounded that the trustee explained some things very well, I thought, on what the plan was and reasons why this was needed to formation to then be able to pull funds from the general fund of the township where he can't do anything right now due to the way it's set up. So sounds like things are planning out really well.
Yeah, they're getting better, not fast enough. They're getting better.
And they approved the cumulative capital development fund for you guys, so that'll start next January.
Yeah.
So that's good for equipment purchases and so on and so forth, so. All right, any other questions or thoughts?
You wanna sign this?
Do you want to sign this contract, even though it will only be good
Even though
till
it'll be
July 1st, but
null and void.
at least the,
I'll get you a copy of it.
excellent,
I'll just bring it down and put it in the
Okay.
drawer or something.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda, amendment for 2023 salary ordinance. So Jenny typed up the amendment, which changes the pace for the maintenance person. So the changes it to $20 per hour for approximately 20 hours per week.
Yes.
Not to exceed $20,000 in the year.
Right.
And that was an increase from the 1778. Am I reading that right? Okay. All right, any questions on the amended salary ordinance for the maintenance person? Okay,
I make a motion that we accept the amendment of the salary ordinance.
all right, I got a first motion,
I'll second.
got a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Transfer of funds is next on the agenda. Jenny?
Okay, so motor vehicle highway is running low. And hopefully we won't have a big snow this year because I transferred money out of the snow removal to street signs and posts to pay for the rest of the signs that Pete ordered. I think we were about 640 short, so I transferred $700 from snow removal to street signs and posts, and then we were running out in miscellaneous supplies, which we use a lot. So I went ahead and transferred 700, and that leaves us about $460 to play with until the end of the year. So I told him he can't be going to Lowe's anymore.
Take his credit card away.
Yes.
How about Menards?
Nope, that's in part of it.
All right.
Now,
Any
you did
questions
say-
on-
Did you not say at one meeting that you think we can take money out of the motor vehicle highway restricted to pay the,
Yes. Because we even had Miranda on the phone and just asked her also. She said lots of municipalities do that because the community crossing matching grant is for streets.
Okay,
So since we got awarded that grant, our 1/4 of the amount can be from motor vehicle highway restricted. We just have to do a special appropriation,
okay.
is what she said. But yeah, lots of people do that. She said because that's what it's designed for.
Well, then if we can do that, that'll give us the grant match. We'll have enough.
Now can I go, Manolo?
All right.
Well-
So I need
Oh, you're buying stuff for the park.
a motion on transfer of funds.
I make a motion, we accept the transfer of funds.
All right, got a first?
I'll second that motion.
Got a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. The meeting with Don Mason on warming and cooling stations got postponed a week, so that'll happen next Monday at 1:30, right, Pete? Wasn't that? Well, you're gonna be gone. You don't care. Going on a cruise. So we'll bring that up again next month when we've had our meeting. So Don Mason is from Emergency Management up at Hendricks County. So, all right. Next item on the agenda, we have to come up with a date for our 2024 budget workshop. So when do we want to get together to comb through?
June 10th, 9 to 3.
We'll just meet at the dumpsters out there.
Yeah.
Under John's little
Yeah.
awning that he's got out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That has to be done by when?
I mean, we have to pass our budget November 1st, but we'd rather not wait that long.
Yeah.
I mean, last year we had
Usually, I think I meet with Merle,
in August, right?
like in,
Yeah.
beginning of August.
So we'd like to meet as soon as possible, June or July,
Yeah,
just so that we have
Yeah.
time to, well, and even last year, we only got through like half of it the first time we attempted, and then we had to make it a second meeting.
right.
So,
Let's leave extra time. Same thing.
right. So we need dates in June jumping out at anyone on, hey, let's meet the state.
I can do any day.
Yeah, I'm clear, June and July. August, I have my vacation
Okay.
in August, so.
What about the 14th of June? A
What's it
Wednesday.
on?
It's a Wednesday
Flag Day.
at 6 o'clock.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Good with that, Miss Jenny?
I guess.
Anybody have conflicts with that?
Nope, I'm putting it in here, so it's a done deal.
Okay, let's carve it in stone, June 14th, 6 p.m. And next item on the agenda, George Burnett, you're up. Did you have anything more than what you already talked about?
I don't have anything else other than what we already discussed, so.
Are you
Yeah, it's
kidding?
good. Don't get many of those.
No,
Okay,
that's a first.
next, Pete, town manager.
I have to have this resolution okay and signed for you guys so I can sign.
Which we already made this motion and passed it in a previous town council meeting, but we can do it again. This allows Pete to be the legal signer for our community crossing matching grant for NDOT.
Need a motion or?
Yeah, let's do it again, just cross our Ts and dot our Is.
Nothing had been signed as well.
Oh, is that what they were, okay, alright,
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
okay, motion, I have a first motion,
I'll second.
got a second motion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. We have to sign these. Don't leave before signing all our paperwork today.
Okay.
Please.
And,
You know, we talked about more mulch in the playground.
more mulch.
I called this company that will blow it in.
Okay,
For 3 to 4 inches, they say it takes 110 cubic yards. Are you ready for this?
that's a lot of mulch.
$4,675. Now, my suggestion is, I put it in there last time by myself with the tractor. Now, if we get a whole bunch of volunteers, I'll bring my equipment over. And we can, in one day, because I did it in one day by myself. And probably saved a lot of money.
This is just
Well,
mulch.
how much
This
is-
isn't the rubber, right?
No.
No,
Okay.
no, the rubber was way up.
Right, how much is just the mulch?
Well, that's what I need to find out.
Oh,
They just give me a price on them coming out and blowing it in. And I'm sure I can go to Greendale and buy it.
And I know when they put that equipment in, when I signed off on it down there, that guy said, when you're putting more mulch in, he says you should, if you're ever gonna go the rubber, but you need to put the
Well,
mulch
the
in
rubber was
first and
like
let it, I know it.
$110
And he says it needs to settle down.
yard.
Yeah,
a cubic yard.
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
And he said if you just put like 3 inches in there and you put the pad down.
Yeah.
He said, I guarantee you within 4 to 6 weeks, the kids will have all that where you can see the pad.
yeah,
Unless you start all over.
yeah. What? Why don't you get a
Yeah, I can.
quote on this,
Yeah.
the mulch? I think we
I
can.
just got this late today is the reason I
Yeah.
brought it up. I wanted some kind of idea because it would be a lot easier blowing it in.
And then a lot of times the Boy Scouts or the Cub Scouts and stuff, they're looking for projects, so maybe we can round some of them
Probably
little,
pretty good little.
some healthy little
We gotta get
boogers and do that.
wow. They would be an exhausted, scout troop,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll figure out some way to,
Well, we can
I'll
turn
go
the
over there and
water
roll,
out there for 'em. I mean, what
Yeah.
more do they need?
Yeah.
I'll roll up my sleeves and help you throw some mulch on the ground.
I'll help coordinate.
You're
No big deal.
That's right.
you're gonna be down at the dumpster.
June 10th, 9 to 3.
Yeah.
And other than that, we've had, Dwayne Lane's putting in 3 more duplexes, 2-story. And one of our members putting in a new swimming pool.
Yeah?
Is Dwayne Lane building over there where
Trump's
Trump,
property.
I seen the building.
He's putting in 3.
3 2-story duplexes. He had to go up on account of the
The
property.
width of the,
Okay.
right.
Yeah,
All right, anything else?
that's it.
Any
Well,
questions for
speaking,
Pete?
yeah, over
Okay.
there, that new Illinois street,
Uh-huh,
is that gonna be a one-way street?
yes.
Okay, I just wondered,
Eventually, when we get the
Yeah, we get
signs.
the signs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been
They've
like
been
8
ordered.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. And she told me last week,
It'd be,
they'd be done in a week, and which was last week.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a thing from them.
yeah.
And of course, they haven't got paid yet either, right?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Chief Remender, you're up next.
John, remind me, I need to ask you something one more time.
okay.
Got I might be able to get the vehicle as soon as next week. So, if it's not next week, they said for sure the following week, so they're delivering it to Fort Wayne. So Matt sent me some quotes as well. He said that you guys all had an agreement maybe on like 10 grand for the equipment, but that was like a year ago. And in a year, it's gone up to 12,915 to outfit the new vehicle. So, there are things that we could probably do without.
The
temporarily.
siren. You just yell out the window, move out the way.
Forward!
Just kidding.
Yeah. So, so Matt, this is this quote was just done on the 11th actually. So there is an up-to-date quote here, so.
But we're using ARPA funds for this, so
Okay.
that's,
Stop. ARPA has 54,913.50 in it. How much is the car?
Oh, the vehicle itself?
Yeah. 42, 40?
Yeah, 41.
So that leaves 12,000.
perfect.
Plus-
Hey,
I got
tell them
12.
to give him what's left over after the car's paid.
Plus the 750 we're saving on dumpsters.
That's right.
Hey.
And mulch.
And mulch,
Yeah.
and fire department.
And I think I sent everybody the decals.
Did you decide on one of
Yeah,
them?
we did decide on one of them. It was the one that had it's the blue line that goes through the police. You remember that
Mhm.
one, which is, the blue line is kind of.
As long as it's block lettering. That
It is
was
block
the
lettering.
consensus that I heard.
Yeah.
Block
It was
lettering.
the one that
Nobody
everybody
liked the
said
cursive.
they liked.
Yeah, nobody liked
So-
the cursive.
Yeah, I don't like the
So,
cursive either,
okay,
actually.
block lettering.
So, Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So
So,
are we wrapping just the new, are we gonna wrap just the new Tahoe, or is the other one getting matched?
I'm actually getting a quote on the other ones as well. Yes, to see what it would cost to put some decals on there. Yep. Yep. So if the budget has it. So there's a couple of, I think this quote doesn't have like a radar in it. So I'm reaching out to other agencies to see if anybody has some equipment that we could utilize from some other PDs. I did talk to Dawn Mason about 2 weeks ago, and she filled out a grant for us for a radio. So that's why I've held off kind of on the radio. So that would be roughly about $5,500 savings. So hopefully we get that. And she said I should know here in the next month on that. So that'd be a savings.
She's good at finding grants.
She's
so
awesome at
yeah.
finding grants. She was very helpful and just really, really neat to work with, actually.
Yeah, she's kind of fixing the county's storm siren system as well. So
Okay.
she's definitely
Yeah, she knows what she's
a
doing.
go
Yeah,
getter
so
type
I was-
person.
So that was huge. Pete's been helping me with interviews. We've done half of our interviews. We still have more interviews to do, but I'm gonna wait until he gets back from this big cruise he's going on. So we'll do a couple more interviews and then I'll have some candidates from that. We had really one good candidate so far that we both really liked. So there's definitely some good folks there. Music in the Park, I established one date so far. Do you remember what date that was, Jenny, that I had you block off for me? I got another one that I'm looking at, August 5th. I got a band. Okay. Okay, so this will be the second date that we're attempting to secure a band for. And then
It was
hopefully-
June sometime, wasn't it?
It was June something, yeah, that one was June.
Probably the day you guys were having the
Budget.
Yeah,
cleanup day.
cleanup day.
Well, that wouldn't be bad because it'd be over with before you started.
Start, yeah, have a little food and then I'm looking to do one in July then as well. So that'll give us June, July, and
Did-
August.
Did you get in touch with that number I called?
Yes,
Are they one of
and
them?
that's one of them I'm working with right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know if D&D is gonna do their big car?
They are gonna do their
So,
partial. Yes, they are. Yep, and there is a date, they have already chosen for that as well. And I'll be working with him on that too. I wanna say Nick donated almost $1,000 to the police department last year through that. So that was really, really good. So I told him I'll do anything and everything I can, to help out with that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
June the 24th.
June the 24th?
And then August the 27th, there's these people that are, well, she's supposed to get back to me. they're gonna have a band down there. And part of the band that plays with them plays with, John Mellencamp, but she doesn't know whether they're gonna be able to come, so she's gonna may have some different people. But that's August the 27th.
August the 27th, okay. Is that a Sunday?
Yeah.
Is that a Sunday?
Is it?
That phone was happy to hear that.
That wasn't mine.
John's phone.
Yeah.
Is the 5th open?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll firm, or connect with you to see if that still
Okay.
works for them. That's all I got. We have been a little busy. We have actually been fairly busy, taking a lot of runs. Like you guys remember last board meeting, I think I had 6 or 7 runs that day, which is,
Well,
normally don't get 6 or 7 runs in a week, let alone in a day, so.
well, it helped having one of your officers down there.
Good, and
at the pantry.
I'm putting that in, and so my goal is to have somebody there every week for you.
I never seen so many people go 20 miles an hour down 39 in my life.
So hopefully
Yeah.
we'll have somebody
Yeah.
there for you every week,
Okay.
John.
Okay.
And it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
Tuesday,
every
pretty much 5 to
Tuesday.
6:15, 6:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Any questions for Chief Remender?
As soon as you get details on the music in the park stuff, send it my way.
Okay,
Get it on the
put it on the website.
website, yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, one note for everybody, the Girl Scouts that are at Mill Creek East have contacted us. They would like to come over and plant flowers here at the town hall, beautify up our property. We told them absolutely, that'd be great. And so Jenny and I looked and we had some money in our promotional. So we're gonna use that money to buy the flowers that they're gonna plant. And then we'll have everything here ready for them.
Yeah.
And so, what was the date? We said Wednesday.
24th.
Wednesday, the 24th, at 5 p.m., the Girl Scouts will show up here to plant flowers. So if anybody wants to come and help, whether it's supervising or
Yeah.
actually planting, that'd be great. So I thought that was nice of them to reach out. What's that? 5 p.m. Yes. And so we'll get those
We'll find something.
flowers.
We
and-
thought maybe we'd buy some daylilies or something and plant in between, so something would come up every year.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Be good. And then the, never mind. Okay, anybody else have anything for, the town council meeting that we haven't addressed? Dave, Lynn,
No.
John, Jenny,
I don't know.
Graham? Okay, anybody put their name on the public comment? Okay. All right, do I have a consensus to adjourn?
Yes.
All right, 7:58.